Hi dear students, welcome to Gallant IAS and this is our history optional. How to smartly approach history optional modules in order to score well in history optional. Okay. So we have already done module 1, 2 and 3. Now this is module 4, 5 and 6 from paper 1 section A, Ancient India. Okay. So what all things you have to cover in these modules? Very quickly I will tell you what are the core things you have to cover in order to score well from these areas. Yeah, fourth module is or fourth unit is it is megalithic cultures. Fourth module is talking about the megalithic cultures. Megalithic cultures. Okay, it's about this. Yes, megalithic cultures. Here you have to focus on these concepts. This is important for you. This is, yes, should not miss areas or must not miss areas. For example, the settlement pattern of these people of megalithic cultures. Settlement pattern of these people of megalithic culture. Don't worry, because in our classes we will cover all these aspects. So the settlement pattern is important. Then the economic subsistence. What was the economic subsistence? Whether they practiced agriculture, whether they had these craft industries, whether they had this farming, fishing, hunting, etc. So it is about the economic subsistence. UPSC asked questions from economic subsistence of this megalithic culture or people of megalithic culture, about the settlement pattern, then about the craft industries. About the craft industries, you should cover the craft industries of this megalithic people. It's a short question. Okay, it's a core area. Then about the iron technology of this southern peninsular India or the iron technology of this megalithic people. Iron technology, if it is there, what was the iron technology of this megalithic people? Then how it can be regarded as the foundational phase of South. How it is regarded as the foundational phase of the South or peninsular India. So these are the 5 must learn topics, must prepare topics from this megalithic culture. Now coming to, yes, this is the story of the big stone cultures. Okay. Now this is the 5th module, which is Vedic era or the age of Aryans. Okay, age of Aryans, Vedic era. This is the 5th module. This is the 5th module. Now UPSC will be asking questions like this. This is core areas you should understand. It is important in prelims, GS1 mains and optional also. They asked questions like this. Comparison between Indus Valley civilization and a Rigvedic civilization. Indus Valley civilization and Rigvedic civilization. Comparison between Rigvedic civilization and later Vedic civilization or Rigvedic culture and later Vedic culture. Okay, so this comparative analysis part is very important for you. Yes, how all these society, polity, economy, culture, religion, how they continued from Indus Valley civilization to Rigvedic civilization, how they changed from Indus Valley civilization to Rigvedic civilization. Okay, so this IVC versus RVC, Indus Valley civilization versus Rigvedic civilization or Rigvedic culture. Similarly, Rigvedic culture versus later Vedic culture. This comparative analysis is very, very important. You should know what all these political, economic, social, cultural, religious aspects continued or changed from Indus Valley civilization to Rigvedic civilization, or how those things continued or changed from Rigvedic culture to later Vedic culture. Okay, this is important for you. So you should have a very good analysis of the continuity of institutions, continuity and change of these socio-economic, cultural, religious institutions from Rigvedic to later Vedic, from Indus Valley to Rigvedic. Okay, this is very important for you. Then you will have to study how this Vedic literature throw light on the political, social, economic, cultural, religious aspects of this Aryan age. Okay, how the Vedic literature, for which you should know what are the classification of Vedic literature, what they are dealing with. So Vedic literature, what they talk about. This is an easy area. This is very easy because it is important for prelims also. So Vedic literature, you should know the classifications and how this Vedic literature talk about political, social, economic, cultural, religious life of these Aryans. Also important thing is the position of women. What did you talk about this position of women? So how these political, social, economic, cultural, religious practices and institutions continued and changed from Rigvedic to later Vedic. That element is also important. Then position of women. the social, economic, political, intellectual position of women in Rigvedic age and later Vedic age, Vedic literature, Upanishads, Puranas, how they served as a historical source of information. You should know how this Vedic literature, including Upanishads, Puranas, all those, okay, how this Vedic literature and especially these Puranas and Sruti literature, etc., how they can be treated as a source of historical information. Then religion and religious practices of these Vedic ideas. What kind of the religion existed, what were the religious practices, rituals, and how they give information about their social and economic life. These concepts are important, you have to study in this module. Especially you should have a good analysis of Vedic literature and how they throw light into socio-economic, cultural, religious aspects of these ideas. Then coming to the sixth module, this is the age of Mahajanpadas. Mahajanpadas, okay, 16 greater kingdoms. There you have to study about this Magadhan imperialism. Alexander the Great, you will study about this Persian and this Greek invasions also. Alexander the Great invaded these northwestern portions of Indian subcontinent, but his soldiers refused to move to eastern side. They refused to fight with these Magadhans because of iron technology, war elephants, etc. of Magadhas. So you will have to study about Magadhan imperialism, factors contributing to this growth of these monarchical states in 6th to 5th centuries BC. You will have to study about these similarities, differences between republican states and monarchical states. Non-monarchical states and republican, or non-monarchical and monarchical states are their major salient features you have to cover here. And 6th to 5th century BC, 6th to 5th centuries BC is also regarded as second urbanization. So you have to analyze the characteristics or features of the second urbanization. First urbanization, Indus Valley civilization. This is second urbanization. Also you have to study what are the factors contributed to growth of second urbanization. You will have to study about iron revolution of 6th to 5th centuries BC. Okay, iron revolution of this particular age. Then about the socio-economic conditions of the 5th to 6th centuries BC. Socio-economic conditions. Then most importantly, you will study the history or the story of Mahajanpadas, the causes and consequences of these Mahajanpadas, or maybe their political, social, economic impact, second urbanization, iron revolution, social economic progress or social economic conditions. Now most importantly, you will also study 6th to 5th centuries BC witnessed growth of these religious movements. Most important, so many heterodox sects, unorthodox sects born in these 6th to 5th centuries BC. Among them, the most important is Buddhism, Jainism. Buddhism and Jainism. So the question would be like this: how Buddhism, Jainism can be treated as social movement, religious movement, intellectual movement, or a cultural movement. So Buddhism, Jainism, as a social movement, as a religious movement, or as an intellectual movement or intellectual renaissance. These angles you have to cover here. Buddhism, Jainism, what are the new ideas, ideologies, or maybe new philosophies contributed, how they were serving these social changes, social movements, or religious reformations, etc. So Buddhism, Jainism, their core teachings and how they can be treated as a social movement of that time, religious movement of that time, or intellectual movement of that time. The basic essential features or essence of Buddhism, Jainism, teachings of Buddhism, Jainism, their philosophies and their contributions to socio-economic, cultural conditions of that particular time. Okay, so these are the basic concepts you have to cover in the 6th module. So 4th, 5th, 6th modules, I have given you the perfect picture about what you have to cover, in these modules. Okay, this series will continue. Stay tuned and prepare history optional smartly. Not the hard work, but the smart work is essential to score from this optional. And there are stories of people or students who scored 300 plus in history optional. So don't worry, you can achieve this. You can easily cross this 300 plus in history optional, provided you have a smart strategy of preparing. Okay, that's it. All the best. Thank you.